All right, the car controls of
Reno Clio.
Reno Clio 221. No, sorry,
220.
220. All right.
2020.
Yeah, go ahead.
Right, so I'm going to be showing you now that show me tell me's that can be
Yes.
asked during the driving test.
Yes.
So now you have one show me and one tell me, but you don't know what questions they're going to ask. So your show me's are the ones that you're going to do on the move. So as you're driving along, they could ask you to do something, and that is your show me. You tell me, you're explaining what they're after. So they may ask you, for instance, how to switch your full beam lights on, and you've got to be able to know where the full beam lights are. So we're going to first do the ones that they're going to talk about, as in your show me's. Your show me's, the ones that you're going along on. The only way you're going to fail these is if you take your mind off of what they're asking and look for the controls. For instance, if they ask you to demist the front windscreen, the button for it is down here.
All right.
Okay, and you'd put all them on yellows like that. So the yellow there, yellow there, yellow there. That will demist the front windscreen. But if you take your eyes off the road too long, your car is going to move. They'll grab the steering, pull it back, and they can fail you for that. That's the only way you're going to fail on these. Other than that, it's all going to be just a minor if you get them wrong.
So again, please, about the failing.
So if you do not keep your hands on the steering wheel, have full control of the steering, you can fail.
Oh.
Okay, which is obvious because the car could drift into another car, oncoming car, so it would be dangerous.
Okay.
Right, so we're going to go through the things that they could ask you on your show me's. So the first one, as I said, could be demist the front windscreen, which is M3.
Yes. Okay.
If you want to demist the back windscreen, you click on that button there, and you'll see a little light that will come on when the engine's on. After you've done that, then they'll be happy. You could switch them off again if you needed to. Another one they could ask you is to open your window, which is the buttons on the door. So you'd lower the window by pushing the button down, or you'd raise your window up by lifting the button up. Okay.
Yes.
Another one, it could be to put your full beam lights on. Now, to put your full beam lights on, if you hang on here, so I'm going to show you how the lights work first. That's off. That one is side lights. That is dipped beam. Once it's on dipped beam, you can put your full beam lights on, and you'll get a blue light on the dashboard like that. To take it off, you bring the control towards the steering wheel. Or you could bring the control towards the steering wheel, and when you let go of it, the full beam comes off. So to leave it on, you push it downwards. To just intermittently put it on, you just bring your switch towards you. So after that car's gone by, right, to bring full beam on, just bring it towards the steering wheel, let go of it, it's gone off. Or push it down and it stays on. And then you switch it off by bringing it towards the steering wheel again. Right, another thing they could ask you is to put your fog lights on. So that's for the front fog light, and you'll see a picture in there. Look, the little green light symbol showing your fog light. Then put both of them on front and back. You turn it around again, and then you'll see the symbol for front and back in there. To switch them off, you just switch it off there, and I'll just switch the lights off. Now, if they ask you to put the fog lights on, they'll also ask you, when would you use your fog lights?
Yes, when 100, less than 100.
When visibility is below 100 meters, then you need to use your fog lights.
Yes.
Okay. So we've done the demisters.
Yes.
Done the fog lights.
Yes.
Now it could be the window washers and wipers. So once again, I'm going to show you how to use the windows washers and wipers. So if I switch that off, so that is the wipers off. I'll put it down one, and that is the wipers, and this is the speed control for the wipers. So it gives you so many seconds for each one. And if that's on number 4, is every couple of seconds. If it's on number 1, it's every few seconds. Okay. So that's for the automatic part. Then you got single wipe, which is down 2 clicks down. Then the 3rd click down is for fast wipe. Right, so if I switch that off, now if we want to wash the front windscreen, we bring the lever toward the steering wheel. When you let go of it, the wipers will keep going, but the water will stop squirting. To wash the back windscreen, you turn that dial, the toggle at the end, round twice and keep your finger on it. When you let go of it, it's spring loaded just to wipe. But to switch it off, you just switch it off. So if you just wanted your wipers on, your rear wiper on, you just turn it once, and then you can switch it off again.
Okay.
So that is all your wash wipers, lights that they could ask you as you're going along.
Okay.
They can also ask you to sound the horn, bib, bib. Whenever they ask you anything, it's always when it's safe to do so. So if it's not safe to do so, if you've got vehicles around you, you wouldn't be flashing your lights or sounding your horn. You'll wait until they've gone past, until it's clear.
Okay.
With your demisters,
Yes.
you could do that at any time, because there's not going to interfere with the other
What
cars.
is demisting?
To demist is when it fogs up inside the car.
Oh, I see.
Okay, it could be because you've got damp clothes or breathing out and it's cold out.
Yeah.
So it fogs the window up. So we put the demister on, defogs it.
Right. Okay.
We've also got the air conditioning button there. And when you've got it on demist, if it's not clearing fast enough, just put your air conditioning on. And it goes a bit faster, clears it a bit faster.
Okay.
Okay, so now that's all the show me's that they're going to ask you. So now we've got the tell me's.
Oh.
Okay, the tell me's. So they're only going to ask you one question. But first, one tell me and one show me. That's what you got. One tell me, one show me.
All right.
So the tell me's, first off, how would you set your headrest and where should it be set to?
It's where your ear is.
That's it. So it's level with your eyes and top of your ears.
Yes,
so where the lever of your glasses goes, that should be the centre.
Yes.
To adjust the headrest, you lift the headrest up.
Yeah.
Or you push a little button in and push the headrest down. Okay.
Okay.
So that's how you adjust your headrest.
Right.
You just need to explain it to them.
Up to your ears. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Right. Then they could ask you, how do you check that the foot brake is working correctly?
Yes.
Okay. So your foot brake, you apply your foot brake.
Yes.
Okay. If it's firm, it's fine.
Yes.
If it's soft and spongy and goes to the floor, it's broken. You wouldn't use the car. Okay. So if it goes soft and spongy or down to the floor, don't use the car because you've got a problem. Right. And then they could ask you, how do you know if the handbrake is working correctly without the car moving? So first off, you apply your foot brake.
Yes.
The car can't move then.
Yeah.
Then you release your handbrake and you bring it up about 4 or 5 clicks. If it keeps coming right up, that means the cable's broke inside. Okay, so you've got a problem with it.
Yeah.
Once you've applied your handbrake and it's firm, you can then remove your foot off the foot brake.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
Right. Next one, they could ask you, how do you know if your brake lights are working correctly? Now, obviously, you need to be able to put your foot on the foot brake.
Yes.
So you can ask
Someone.
a passenger to have a look for you.
Yes.
Or you could apply your foot brake and look for a reflection behind you.
Yeah.
So if there's a vehicle behind you or a shop window, look for a reflection to see if they're working correctly. Right, then we've got ABS. How do we know if the ABS is working correctly? So there's a light that comes on the dashboard and it should say ABS, which is that... Oh, it's gone off again. But if it doesn't go off, that ABS light, if it doesn't go off, it's the one next to the engine warning light. Let's try and start it up. Oh, switch it off and see if we get that to shine up again. Right, so if I switch that back on, it says ABS. Right, if that doesn't go off, you've got a problem with your ABS. That's anti-lock braking system. Okay. the anti-lock braking system allows you to steer whilst you're braking in icy and slippery roads. Okay, so if that's not working correctly, then you need to have it sorted out.
One question. So the handbrake I check whilst my foot is on the
foot brake.
On the foot brake.
Yeah. When you've applied your handbrake, you should also see a little brake symbol like that.
Right. Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Right. So we've checked now that the foot brake lights are working correctly.
Yeah.
How do we check that the other lights are working correctly? It's quite simple. You switch them on and you walk around the car to have a look round. When I switch them off, I know that it's all working correctly.
Yeah.
What about the indicator lights? How do we know that the indicator lights are working correctly? Well, you don't want to be getting in and out of the car all the time. So what you do, you switch your hazard lights on. Okay, and then it's got all your indicator lights working at the same time.
Right.
So you get out and walk around the car to make sure they're all working correctly. Okay, then I'll switch them off for that. Once again, we've got the horn.
Yeah. And the steering.
Steering. How do we know that the powered steering is working correctly? Well, we try and turn it. If it's stiff like it is now, the engine's off, so it's not working. When I switch the engine on, it's easy to turn.
Yeah.
So that's when we know that it's working. Okay. Right. So that is now everything inside the car. We've got a few bits that we've got to have a look inside the engine. So if you have a look down by your feet there's a lever there. Can you see that lever on the side? If you lift that up.
Yeah.
Right, that's it.
The
Let go
bonnet.
of it. Now we're going to have a little look and look inside the engine now.
Yeah.
Okay, so to open the bonnet, you need to put your fingers down and move a lever across. It will start up automatically. If you put your fingers up, you miss that lever, you can't find it.
So I should do like that.
Always with your fingers down, yeah. So it's that way to go across there.
That way.
Okay? Now, there's only 4 things that they're going to ask you in here. One, that's your windscreen fluid, your windscreen wash fluid. You can fill that up to the top, okay, to the maximum.
To the maximum.
To the maximum. Right, let's move the leaves out of there so you can see. Right, now this one is a coolant.
Coolant, okay.
And it goes between the minimum and maximum, that half full mark there. It's showing on the hand getting burnt. Now the reason why it's showing the hand getting burnt, that gets pressurised and it gets very hot like a kettle. So if you take it off whilst the engine's hot, it could bubble up and scald you. So it's showing the hand getting scalded. So you never check that when the engine's hot, it's always when the engine's cold. This one here, that's showing you the wheel, and then in brackets there, it's showing you the brake drum. Okay, so that's your brake fluid.
Brake fluid, yeah.
Once again, it's got to go between the minimum and maximum.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
That fluid is very corrosive. If that gets on the bodywork of your car, it'll rust it. It'll just bubble up like paint remover. It bubble up, it'll ruin your paintwork.
Yeah, and this is for oil, yeah?
Right, now this is the oil.
Yeah.
That's where you put the oil.
Yeah.
But this is how we test it. So we pull the dipstick out.
Yes.
We'll give it a wipe.
Yeah.
We put it back.
Yes.
We put it back out again.
Yeah, and then...
And it's got to be between the minimum and the maximum mark on there.
Yeah.
If it is, it's fine.
Yes.
Then we just replace that again. Nice steady hand. So that's between minimum and maximum, same as that and that.
Yeah.
This one gets filled to the top.
Yeah.
Okay.
To the top.
To the
So
top.
this is the only one that
That's
gets...
the only one that gets filled to the top.
To the top.
And that's all they're going to ask you when you show me, tell me is inside the engine.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now we're going to have a look at the tyres.
Tires. Okay.
Right. So minimum tread depth is 1.6 millimeters across the centre, 3/4 of the width of the tyre.
Yes.
Okay, but to check that the tyres are in good condition, you look around the edges of the tyres
Yeah.
and you make sure there's no cracks,
Yeah.
no splits, no bits of wire sticking out, no bulges.
Yeah.
If that's fine, the tyre's okay.
Yes.
Then the tyre pressure,
Yeah.
we use a tyre pressure gauge on the valve, and the end of it comes out when you push it onto the valve, and it shows you how much air pressure is in there, how many bars of pressure, or PSI pressure, whatever system you want to use. You find your tyre pressures in the car handbook that comes with your car when you buy it new. Okay? And that's all the show me tell me's.
Okay. Alright, thank you.
Right, jump back.